What's up, everyone? Happy Little Hot Rods here. In this video, I'm going to show you how I made this bed floor using $200 worth of materials from Home Depot. Turned out awesome. Let's get into it. First things first, let's go over why I'm doing this and what I picked up to do it. So as you can see, the bed floor in this thing is absolutely destroyed. This box had a trailer plate on it from 1968. The frame was cut off from the original 1934, and it was turned into a trailer. Who knows when? I'm assuming this thing got used for like 20 years as a trailer. That happened a lot back in the day. And this box, this bed floor, makes all kinds of racket going down the road because it's so stretched that it actually does like the oil can thing, and it makes like thunder noises and bangs and crashes going down the road. So I want this thing to be more livable, a little nicer to drive, get rid of all that noise that it's making. So what I picked up, this is a sheet of 1/2 inch thick sanded birch plywood. So it's sanded on both sides. It's actually cheaper than good one side plywood. Picked this up at Home Depot. There's absolutely no knots in this side. Looks great. It should stain up really nice and give us a nice wood grain finish. I picked up, this is just 1 inch wide floor transition molding that has holes in it every 6 inches or so. Picked up enough of them to do bed strips through the bed floor. And this is just like a C-channel aluminum that I'm going to put on each end of the bed floor to cap it, just to make it nice finish. I picked up some Behr. This is water-based stain and poly in one. Mission oak color. Hopefully this looks pretty good. I've never used it before. I'm not a woodworker in any sense of the word. So we'll get this piece of plywood cut to fit the bed floor, lay it out, and I'm going to stain the underside with a coat first just to seal it off, protect it. And then we'll flip it over and we'll get working on the top, get it nice and smooth, get it figured out. Try the underside out first in case I totally screw it up. Let's get started. I got one coat of stain on this side. That's all I'm going to do on this side. This is going to be the bottom. This says to let it dry for an hour. I'm going to run, have some lunch, come back, we'll flip it over, give the other coat a side. Going to do 2 coats on the other side though. So anyway, run and grab some lunch, then we'll get back and get going. Okay, the top side has been drying for about an hour here now. So we'll give this a quick sand, wipe it off the tack rag, and put another coat on. It says 2 is all that's required. It'll darken up a little bit, and hopefully it's got a real nice finish after. I may end up picking up some regular Varathane or something to cover the top of it up after the fact. That is an option with this stuff, but I do think that the 2 coats is going to be adequate. So get this sand and get going. The stain is all dry. It turned out pretty good. You can see some brush strokes and stuff in it. Like I said, I'm no woodworker. This isn't my forte. However, I think that it looks fantastic as is. It's got that nice little satin finish. Looks good. These strips, it actually works out that this end hole is going to work out perfectly to hold this trim on both ends. So I got to get this piece cut to fit both ends and then trim all of these so that they are the perfect cut for the ends. I think I'm actually going to take these ends and I'm going to taper them as well so that it has that same profile that it has on each side on the ends as well. And I'm going to cut this bed floor completely out. I'm going to leave a 1-inch wide flange here that it's actually going to screw to around the perimeter. That's what's going to hold it in. So this bed floor does have like these goofy bumps here. Those are going to have to get cut out as well, make a little room. So let's get started. Let's get this chopped out. We can get all that stuff trimmed up and we'll go from there. Hopefully this fits in there with no big issues. I didn't test fit it with the trim on it, but I did have some room, so it should be good to go. Let's get to it, guys.
on the street last night, said everything's alright. Roller coaster, make it through the day upright. It seems your meal ticket is gone, but life goes on. I could never imagine something better. Yeah, right. Now you're cooking on high heat in the middle of the street. Roller coaster, take me to a better time. Let's go! All sing your high line with the roller coaster of life. Yeah. It's time to all choose your timeline on the roller coaster of life. You seem to easily forget how to place your bet. When everyday life gets you down, you gotta steal the crown. Got to own it. Don't bitch and moan about it, please. God forbid you scrape your knees, and it's nothing to sneeze at. Oh, I've told you over and over again. You gotta get both hands around it and make your own plans. Roller coaster, it's taking over, it's about time. Oh, sing your high line on the roller coaster of life.
I'm just playing with a little bit of layout here, trying to decide whether I'm going to use 8 strips or 7 strips. And I feel like I like the look of the 7 strips better. So we need some short screws for the center ones. So I got some 5/8 long screws that'll just go through the trim and into the plywood, and they shouldn't poke out the back too much. That way, if you're underneath working on it, you're not going to snag yourself on screws hanging way through. So the perimeter needs longer screws. So I got some 1-inch screws that'll go into these end holes and along this rail. That'll go into the bed floor that we cut out around the perimeter. That'll hold this in and create a perfectly solid surface. If you were worried about trying to make this thing hold any weight, you could easily just add every, 12 inches, 14 inches, whatever you decided, you could put a cross brace across here. If you're doing this in like a different truck that you actually plan on hauling something, this thing's got literally like 1.5 inches of suspension travel, so there's absolutely no reason in trying to make it carry any weight. The heaviest thing I'm ever going to have in the back of here is like a tent and a cooler or something. I'm not going to have a lot of weight in the back of it. So this should work really good. I think this bed floor looks freaking awesome, to be honest. So I'll lay it out on the other end. We'll get the screws through the center of it and pre-drill some holes along the perimeter so that we can get this thing in there and screwed down. check it out, guys. I literally could not be happier with how this looks. The staining took the most time out of all of it. This whole project took less than a day. For about $200 of materials, including the stain and everything, paintbrush, the whole deal, everything was around 200 bucks. A real hardwood bed floor kit, you're looking at least a couple $1,000s by the time you have it installed. For, not even an eighth of the price, this looks 100% convincing. I'm not going to be hauling anything in the back of this that's heavy. I throw a chair or maybe a cooler in there. It'll 100% still haul that type of stuff. Anyway, as a bonus for you guys that stuck around to the end of this video, let's get this thing pulled out and have a look at the chop for the first time. Give you guys a chance to hear it run. Let's get this thing outside. There's still some snow, but I can't wait to see this thing outside with the chop. Let's go, guys. Here we go, guys. Your first look outside. If you like this content, you want to see some more, like, share, subscribe, tell a buddy. I appreciate all you guys watching. It's been quite the journey getting this truck on the road, and I literally could not be happier. Anyway, see you in the next one, guys.